Hi folks, welcome back to the domain of the crazy old collector. Right, today, as promised last time, we're going to get back to looking at some games, in particular Wii games. Now, I don't have a definitive collection of Wii games, but it is quite substantial. And when I collect for modernish machines, I normally go into 5 different genres that I like. They're the main ones that I collect, and that would be pinball, arcade conversions, racing games, first-person shooters, and shmups. They're the 5 areas that I like, and I tend to focus in on. Now, the Wii itself, generally regarded as a game for a machine rather for newbies and non-gamers and casual gamers. I think that was a bit unfair, actually. I think it was more of a machine for new gamers, to bring people into gaming, kind of forerunner of mobile phone games, if you like. But when people say it's for casual gamers, I would tend to disagree with that. I mean, I would say, well, try finishing Metal Slug Anthology for a start, or Need for Speed Nitro. They're pretty hardcore games. There's a couple more in there as well, RPGs and what have you. So, I don't think it's a fair assumption to assume it was just for casual gamers and non-gamers. Anyway, enough about the machine. I've got a few games to go through, so we'll start and whip through them very quickly. Now, there were a lot of guns that you could use light guns, you could use light guns for. Now, I've already done a video on all the light games, so I refer you to that if you want to see all of those. But there are some other games that use light guns. That, for instance, Second World War game, and we had this Resident Evil Wii edition. You could use all sorts of light guns for that. And we've got, this one's getting quite scarce now at a decent price. Anyway, this was a third-person shooter that you could use the light gun for. Same with that one. I think it's crossbow training. I like the games where you can use stick your Wii into a different kind of light gun and use it. That's what was great about the Wii controller. It was, you could use it for many things. Now this one, I'll just show you. I'm going to show you all the special editions later on, but I happen to have that one out. Now with this one, bend round here a bit so I can find the. I had a lot of trouble finding this one. It's a Nerf game. So basically, you get this gun with it. I bought a gun separately before I ever bought this, but there was a gun in there as well, so I've got 2 now. As I say, this particular edition is hard to find, and basically you can whip this this gun mechanism out that you use for normal nerves, and you can stick a Wii controller in there and use it on the controller. So that was an interesting one. So I'll just bung that over there for a minute. Right, okay. Now there's the inevitable football games. Fifa Online there. We've got PES 2008. Can't say I've played much of football games on the Wii, but I just thought I would have an example That's one of the many party games, you know, sports games, Sports Island 2. By Hudson Soft, that one, you know, these are the people that used to do all the PC Engine games, so that's bound to be half decent. Right, then we have Red Steel. These are just odd games that I've picked up probably because they were cheap. They don't really fall into my 5 categories. It's a golf game. To say, I mean, the thing about the Wii was it was a machine of fun, really. You know, I can remember having many a time on the bowling with the family. Good fun. That was a weird one. Mad World. Hard to describe that one really, but yeah, it had these weird sort of black and white graphics. But that's a conversion of not a straight conversion, but it's derived from an old video arcade machine from the early 80s, middle 80s, maybe it's Alien Syndrome by Sega. And then we have a puzzle type of game. We roll this Mercury around, a bit like Marble Madness if you're familiar with that type of arcade game. You'll have to excuse me today, I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm going to be croaky. So I'm sorry about that. Soul Calibur Legends. That's not a fighting game as you would expect. It's more a first-person action game. But I like Soul Calibur, so I thought, yes, well, we'll invest in that. Right, now we come to the racing games, of which I have quite a few. Excite Truck, that was a game that was very well thought of on the Wii. And GT Pro. I mean, none of these games are startling, but the thing is, you can buy one of those plastic wheels and just use it, you know, as a wheel that's not attached to anything, and it's quite good fun getting around corners with the Wii inside a wheel. That's off-road. That came out on every computer known to man at the time. Off-road. Cruising, that's a racing game, not a direct arcade port, but it's based on the cruising games that Midway did back in the early 90s, late 80s. My memory gets a bit hazy, but it's in that mould. And of course, Colin McRae. You always got to have a dirt game if you like racing games. Ferrari Challenge, which came out on the PS3, as I remember. I have it on that. Same with this one, Ferrari the Race Experience. Not the most playable of racing games, as I remember. Yeah, this was a strange one. This was actually just for the Wii. This because most of the Need for Speed games were ported around the consoles, but this was a Wii exclusive, Need for Speed Nitro. And as I say, if you think the machine's for amateurs, try finishing that. Give it a go. And then Carbon. Just an aside, this has never come down in price for the PS3. I've been trying to find a decent price copy because I already have it on the 360. But then I've got it on the Wii as well. So one of the nicer Need for Speed games, Hot Pursuit. It was very well received on all machines. Wheel Spin, yeah, that was Archie McLean who did all those great games on the PS1 and what have you. But it didn't garner very good reviews because basically it was unplayable. Then XATV Untamed. I'm not keen on bike games because I can't control them. Don't like them much. And then we've got My Sims Racing. Just a bog standard race in the Mario Kart tradition. Okay, and we move on to the Mario stuff. Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. These are quite fun games. That's the reason I picked these up. You know, they're all right for a blast with the family if they fancy a game. London 2012 Olympic Games edition. Then we have the Sonic Secret Rings. For some reason, the Sonic games never really translated well on the Wii because this was like a 3D effort, as I remember. As I say, a lot of these odds and sods games I've probably just picked up because they were cheap. I mentioned pinball as one of my 5 favourite areas. That's in fact the only pinball game I've got for the Wii. Dream Pinball. Nothing spectacular, but it's pinball nevertheless. And then we move into arcade conversions. Guilty Gear. That one, Core. Fighting game. That one is Accent. Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus. Oh, there's millions of these. I don't know how many were on the Wii, but there seems to be a lot on the PS4 if you go onto PSN, or, you know, the online shop. There's millions of Guilty Gear games. So that was the Wii incarnation of one of them. There was another. That one, Tatsunoko versus Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. Of course, fighting games always sell well on any machine. What do we have here? Oh, yeah, that was... I like this game actually, Geometry War Galaxies, one of these twin stick shooters, or at least it was on the PS3, 2, 4, whatever. I think you can probably play it that way if you've got a controller, but yeah, it's nice little game. And what do we have here? Mario Strikers Football. I should have had that in with the other Mario games. You can pick that up for next to nothing now. There seems to be millions of copies of that around. And that's the one I mentioned earlier, Metal Slug. Anthology has quite a lot of the Metal Slug games, of which there are legion. But all of them fairly tough. So, yeah. So that gives light to the fact that it was just a machine full of noobs. Certainly you struggle to get through that. We've got Super Smash Brothers Brawl, which everybody seems to like, but I'm not a big fan of. This one, Super Mario Galaxy, that was better. Kind of a follow-up to the original Nintendo 64 Super Mario 3D, they called it. What was that? What do we have here? Oh, Metroid. Another M. It's yeah, and one of the Metroid games for the Wii is very expensive now. It's Metroid Prime Corruption. And then we have Conduit Laser. It's a special edition. I don't know what's special about it. Oh, you get a wee booklet with it with various bits of artwork and stuff from the game. That in this box, and then we have Conduit 2. Another third-person shooter. Nice back. Nice art on the back as well. And that was that. Right. Oh, this is another one that you could use a gun for. It's a conversion of a couple of arcade games from the 80s, I believe. Gunblade New York and LA Machine Guns. I remember these in the arcade. Now they have massive guns on the front of them. And you blast away. There's quite a lot of these machines in the types of machines in the arcades now. Whenever you can find an arcade, that is, with massive guns on them. The old arcade style games seem to have fallen out of fashion. Ghost Squad, that's another light gun game based on an arcade machine. And of course, House of Dead 2 and 3. You still see these knocking about arcades wherever you see them. Once again, you can use all your light guns as you can for House of the Dead Overkill. I've got a big box set for this with a massive gun in it, which, as I say, if you go to the channel, just have a look for the video about light guns and you'll see all about them. And the Umbrella Chronicles. I think I've got a big box set for that as well. Don't see them around much these days, but I used to pick them up from Kex quite reasonably. Dark Side Chronicles. So all of these are basically the same type of thing where you're just shooting into the screen. And, there's a couple more out of order. Call of Duty World at War is another light gun game if you wish. And Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Never been a big fan of that particular series, but there you are, it was probably cheap somewhere. Right, we have a few. This is Red Steel 2. It's the pre-order pack. It comes in a little box. Inside you get the game. Some sort of information about the game, and then you get this. You can see it in the light there. This little art book. It's quite nice actually. The art book. It's yeah, quite colourful. certainly worth having over the ordinary edition. And we have the Monster Stunt Racer 4x4 Stunt Racer. You get a wheel in there, and the game. The wheel comes in parts. And then you just get the game in there with it. I've been trying to get that for the PS3 for the longest time, and I still haven't managed to get a copy. Okay, we're on to the special editions now. This was a Zelda Gold edition. You know, you got a gold remote, gold disc, Wii Remote Plus. I'll get the dust off it. Oh dear. Yeah, the actual remote's not in there, so I must have it out with the other stuff. But anyway, you can see what's in there. And then there's the GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye with the gold controller there. I will show you that. I assume it's in there, hopefully. Yeah, it's well worth a look. You just get the normal edition of the game, and then packed in here you get this very nice controller. As I say, if you did anything with the dual stick, like the Galaxies I showed you earlier, you can use it. It's got lots of buttons. I'll put that back together later. It's quite hard to find that with the controller, because obviously people used to take the controller out. And this is the Monster Hunter 3 Special Edition. You get a controller in this one as well. Yeah, that's the nice black shiny controller you get with that one. The little fitments for there, and then also inside here, apart from the game, there's a instruction booklet as well. It's pretty boring actually. There's no artwork in there, so I'll not take up your time with that one. Then of course there's the no Wii would be complete without the Mario Kart wheel edition. So basically all you get is the game plus the wheel, which is you're going to play a racing game, that's probably the better wheel to use. And then I've got this rather scarce now, this combo pack for the speed game. A bad little game actually, and then you get you get another wheel. I won't bother to unpack that one because they're taking forever to get back in. And before I show you the couple of steelbook packs I've got, that's the World Snooker Championship Reel 08. I'll just open that up and show you what's inside. Basically you get the, sorry it's upside down, but that's the game, and you get a cue and a little holster for your Wiimote. Can't remember how that fits together, but yeah, I thought that was a nice little special edition, especially with the nice tin case that you get. Wasn't all that expensive actually, as I remember. And then we roll on to the last but not least. These are a couple of RPG. I think I showed these before, but they're worth having a look at. Last Story limited edition now. Now these are getting harder and harder to find at a decent price. I'll just whip everything out and show you because they were worth a look. Find some space. Okay, so you get a little box with the soundtrack and this lovely hardcover little art book. It's a very nice art book, this. Got all the characters and whatever, the usual stuff you get with a JRPG. But yeah, all very nicely done. And so you get the soundtrack with a very nice cover there. I don't know how many discs are in there, just the one. Very nice disc as well. See it in the light. So yeah, I mean that's a nice little extra. What's the problem with these is always getting them back in. Right, okay, we made that. Just bear with me. Right, that's that back in, and then you get the regular copy of the game with some sort of manual there, and you get this very nice steelbook. Not many steelbooks on the way, but if they're all like, if all steelbooks were like that, I'd be fairly happy. You can keep your game either in your regular case or in there if you wish. And then on top of that, so I assume that this is that's just the that's just the manual. So you know what to expect with a manual. Right, so we'll just leave those, put them back later, and then last but not least we have Pandora's Tower limited edition. Once again, this one is not easy to find at a reasonable price. Going up all the time, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for any Wii collectors. So you have a very nice hardback art book. I'm always disappointed when I get a limited collector's edition with an art book and it turns out to be just a paperback, because these hardback books are so much more interesting and they feel nice. The hardback, I love, well, you know me, I love hardbacks. And then you have the regular game. One disc with this one, and that's the manual. Won't trouble you with that. And then I presume some sort of manual also. But then you get this beautiful steelbook. I mean, that is really, really nice. I mean, I've seen a lot of steelbooks in my time, as you know from my videos, but that is one of the. It's up there. Show you in the best light. I mean, that's up there with anything that I've got steelbook wise. So it's a pity that they didn't do more steelbooks. But that is absolutely beautiful. Okay, folks, we've just about run out of time now. We've come to the end of that. I hope you enjoyed that little look at my Wii collection. Sorry about to zip through it, but if I don't get it done within a certain time, I have to splice the video, and I don't like doing that. Really. Well, I don't do it anyway. I get somebody else to do it. So, yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thank you all for viewing and commenting and subscribing. Keep it up, and I will see you next time with something or other. I have no idea what.